What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got both of my co-hosts back in the building with me tonight. I got my man, Jay Bobble. What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. Glad we got everybody back over here after several weeks here. I'm looking forward to getting into this, but want to quickly remind you can catch us on TikTok as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at Husband Podcast. And for those interested in promos and shout outs, shoot us a DM at hoetohusbandpodcast@gmail.com as well as shoot us a DM on IG, Husband Podcast. All right, T.
I also got my man SG in the building. What's up with you?
Bud, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this episode. I'm excited for fantasy football playoffs. Awesome. Yeah, you know, it's going to be a good couple weeks here coming up. So, hey, man, let's get it. But first, let me give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold Husband Podcast on Cash App and PayPal. All right, T.
I want to remind everybody that y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. Tonight's episode is titled Weigh Your Options. And we just kind of wanted to have a discussion about settling down and realistically evaluating your dating options. But y'all know how we do around here, man. We like to discuss stuff that we've seen either trending or that has gone viral on our timelines. So we got a couple of interesting videos. This first video, a couple people tagged me in. This was a video where a guy was talking about women refusing to date men that are actually on their level. Let's take a look.
It's hard to date because women refuse to date the men that actually match them in every way. Let me cook for a second. Short women typically like to date what? Tall guys. You'll hear a short woman literally look at a smaller man and say, he's too small for me. Fat women like to date what? What type of man do you typically see a fat woman with? Either a toothpick built brother or they require a man that's in the gym and she has never seen the likes of any Planet Fitness. Let's go a little bit further, right? Because you don't think I'm on to something. What type of men do broke women think that they should be dating? Let me put my big ear. I got time today. What type of men do broke women think that they should be dating? Rich ones. What type of men do toxic women think that they should be dating? Healed ones. What type of women do crazy? What type of men do crazy women think that they should be dating? Sane ones. That's why you're single. You don't even like the men that are for you. You want you a unicorn, huh?
Now, it's funny to hear him point out a lot of opposites like that. I think there's a lot of truth to women being delusional about what they expect out of men. But the way that he did it as a joke, I don't think opposites necessarily attract like that, or like-minded people necessarily attract like that. And ideally, we're supposed to find people that balance us out, meaning your strengths will outweigh or make up for some of my shortcomings. To me, that's how you have balance in a relationship or a household or whatnot. But I think what he's just pointing to in general is a lot of women are delusional about what they present to men and what they expect out of the men that they want to date.
Yeah, you know, we all know this to be true, man. Like, I talk to them about this all the time, you know, because you hear women say a lot of this here main thing. I won't settle. And then I look at their pictures and she 100 pounds overweight, sweetheart. What are we talking about here? You got to have a man making $200,000 and you won't settle? What in the world will he be doing? He'll be settling. And again, I believe we talked about or had some conversation like this before. Women never even think of the idea that they are being settled on. So a lot of women, to his point, will pass up men that don't make $100,000, right? Let's just use that because that's a major one, right? But she's a 4 that's overweight with 2 kids. Like, come on. This man is exceptional by America's standards. A man making $100,000 is only 15% of men. So he's exceptional, right? And if he's single, you got to cut that in half because half of that 15% is married. So that's 7.5%. So now there's 7.5% man just off of money alone. He is exceptional. A lot of times, those men, yes, a lot of times those men want exceptional women, but it's not exceptional in your finances for the ladies, which a lot of them try to make that what men want. It's in your look, in your shape, in your circumstances, and in the way that you think. Those are the things that men look for to make a woman exceptional when he's an exceptional man. So if you aren't an exceptional woman, and by exceptional woman, let's talk about, since we're talking about the man that's in the top 15%, top 7.5% because he's single, let's talk about the top 7% of women that are 8s, 9s, and 10s. Those are exceptional women that are in shape. If you're not that, you're not exceptional when it comes to looks and shape. I'm sorry to tell you. So what that means is your man should be making $65,000. That's your equivalent. I know I'm saying, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm putting it into perspective for how it applies, because an out of shape, facially challenged woman is the equivalent of a man that's 37 years old making $45,000. He's at the bottom of the bottom in finances to women, and those women are at the bottom of the bottom in looks and shape to the men that they want. It's the equivalent, and a lot of women don't even think of it that way because panderers and society tell them that they can get anything no matter what they look like, how they behave, or what their circumstances are like. Jay, what you think? I'm sorry.
It was a good take there. No, he's absolutely right here. But here's the thing with women, right? Women don't like average. They think they deserve these exceptional men, and deserve being relative here because that's a matter of opinion, right? But many of them say, "Oh, I deserve the 6-figure deal, and I want the guy that's over 6 foot." And you know what I'm saying, why not date that guy that makes $65,000 and you can actually build something substantive with that dude as opposed to unicorn.
I mean, I guess it has a lot to do with the society and the narrative around dating and relationships. I don't recall when I was single or younger. I mean, you would discuss chicks every now, when you were with your homies or whatnot, but there wasn't this like massive conversation about 50-50 dating expectations, etc. And so again, like you said, the pandering, a lot of the brainwashing that has been done to women has really made them completely turned off by the regular guy. To the point that you were making, SD, about how guys are really based off what they can provide in their finances. The biggest difference between the parallel that you were making with women and their looks is a lot of those looks and that women get is artificial. Men don't have a whole bunch of enhancers they can get to what they finances or they provide and look like. Yeah, you got scammers and you got dudes that lie and can finesse, but that goes very, very, that's very
don't go a long way.
Because eventually, if you're around them, you're gonna see what his lifestyle actually is. That's the biggest difference between what you were talking about.
Yeah, but Jay mentioned building. Today's woman don't want to build with a man. That they want the guy
you gotta have it already.
That's already built up already. This is where so many of them have gone wrong in their lives, especially in our community. I was talking about this the other day on a live. White women go to college and they're looking for a man. They go to college.
I thought that's what everybody was supposed to be doing. When I went to college, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but white girls got a saying, a ring by spring. I posted about it not too long ago. Their goal is to find a husband. Whereas a lot of our women aren't taught that. They never even heard of it. I did a survey. 98% of them said, I've never even heard of this, because they aren't taught that. They are taught, get your own thing. You don't need a man right now. Wait till later. Now, the white girls are getting with these here guys in college that's on their same level. They don't have much. The guys don't have much, but they're on the same trajectory because these dudes are in college, they studying, they doing this, they ain't caught up in the looks, whatever the case. So then they get with them and then they build. our women say, nah, I'm going to get, a lot of them want the ball players, the football players, the basketball players, the Kappas, the Alphas, and all these hit guys. Yeah, the guys that's popping. And then the dudes that ain't popping like that, that's in school, because there's plenty of eligible men in college. Plenty of them. But they don't want to build like that with a man. They see themselves as above those dudes. They want the other guys. You know what I mean? So now when they step out here at 30, 35, oh, now I'm ready to get married. The guys that they want are saying, you don't qualify. You don't have the leverage in the game no more. You had the leverage when you was nice and young. Now you done popped out a kid. You done popped on 70 pounds. And you done popped on a lot of trauma from all the other dudes that you done let enter into your body. So now you do not qualify. But they think that they qualify because they got a little money. So now they say, well, I'm the table. I'm perfect. I got everything. Why can't I get a man? Because you don't qualify for the men that you want. Just like a lot of dudes that don't make enough money. For what? Oh, when they make that money.
Once they start leveling up and making all that type of
100%.
Now they look down on even a guy that's relatively successful. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
He ain't in a Rolls Royce, or he ain't in a Maserati. Like,
I mean, not even necessarily that. They look down on the dude that ain't making at least what they make. Like that is the going thing. He got to at least make what I make. And if he don't, and so if she's making $100,000, she has eliminated 85% of men off bat. And if you take away from the married men, she has eliminated 92% of all men, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all of them, just off of finances alone.
Actually, this you guys are touching on the college point here, and what's crazy about, here's more of a reason why they should be looking for a husband. You're going to college, 9 times out of 10 you're getting student loan, because a lot of times our families ain't come from money where they can just send us to college, right? We all know that. So you take about $100,000 worth of debt, and you got to go pay that back about 6 months after you graduate. So why not get with somebody, and pool resources? That's part
smart.
That's the smart approach.
Yeah,
you would think.
Like the 50-50 conversation. You have so many women saying, I won't go 50-50 and struggling.
That makes no sense.
And struggling.
I never understood that, man. It's a lot of it, though, that I struggle because I'm applying logic to it. You know what I mean? Like, that logically doesn't make sense. But you're right, man. Just listening to women explain their dating philosophies, a lot of times you're going to be scratching your head, and you can identify several things that are going to cause them to struggle with dating. But it's usually not a conversation that's really worth trying to convince her or explain to her why her philosophies are the problem. So it's kind of just a self-perpetuating cycle, which is why when they in a group chat and the single women are giving each other single advice, dating advice, it's usually something, very counterproductive to reaching their goals. Let's keep it. Well, this kind of ties into the next post. The next video that we were going to talk about is a guy talking about women's the dating expectations that they have and how that ruins a lot of situations before they can even develop. Let's take a look.
You see a lot of potential relationships ending early, even before they even have a chance to start. A lot of people approach them with their expectations, a lot of selfishness. And once people do the individual work, I would say, work on being a better you, to know what you are presenting to a person, as opposed to being overwhelmed with what you want your counterpart to be. And that would make for better transitions. Focus on the friendship first. A lot of people like to skip the friendship phase, like to go straight into the relationship phase, straight into the dating phase, based off the expectations that we have for this person that we want to fill in the blank and things like that. So it's flawed from the beginning.
I can agree with a lot of what he said. I do think a lot of people, especially women, I think what he was talking about is, I remember a couple episodes back you said usually when guys are talking about women, they say people. I think it was describing female behavior, because I think from the position that guys have in the dating world, where they just gotta get in where they fit in, you gotta figure out and make, you know what I'm saying, make it work, trial and error, etc. Guys have a lot more self-awareness of where they come in the dating pecking order, and I don't think a lot of women do. And so guys get in where they fit in, and they know they lane for the most part. They understand what things it takes to level them up and give them better opportunities, and they just accept it for what it is. Most guys are not necessarily delusional about the women that they can date and have sex with. The part that I disagree with, or is not really my philosophy, is the be a friend first and then date, and then I don't approach a chick thinking we gonna be buddies or no platonic friend. You know what I mean? Like, so I never. I guess that could theoretically happen, but my attraction to a woman's almost instant, and so it ain't. I ain't never been like, she's such a girl. Like, yeah, let's just be friends. I've had some people that I'd smash, but we started off just being cool because of some other circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a reason she was off limits at the time, or she had a boyfriend when we met, or something like that. It could be something like that to why we didn't, or I didn't shoot my shot, but it was never, oh no, I want you to be my bestie type vibe.
Yeah. Guys might shoot outside they lane. They might try to toss that DM in there.
Try, but that's not an expectation though.
No,
that's not.
No, guys know he just like, hey man, why not? I might as well shoot. I know I'm probably going. There's a 99% chance I'm gonna miss, but let me go ahead and shoot it anyway, cause she a dime or something like that. Guys ain't sitting around saying I deserve that, so I'm not gonna give nobody else a chance because I deserve that. Like, men don't typically do that. But one thing he had talked about was being selfish, right? And how it's all about you. And we know this to be true so much with people, right? And I mean men and women. That's why I say people. But a lot of times, because I see this a little more with women, and this is how you know, because they can name everything they want from somebody else. But when asked what they bring to the table or what do they have to offer a man, a lot of times it's crickets. Or I am the table, or look at me. Like, it's something that holds no real weight to it. It's not like, for a guy, I want a guy that's honest, I want a guy that's trustworthy, I want a guy that's a leader, a protector, that's a good father, that's this, like all these different things. But when it comes to you, okay, what do you have to bring? It's oftentimes not my femininity, my help, my support, my submission, my nurturing. Like, it's rarely ever that. It's a lot of times silence and crickets, or something smart like, I'm the table, I'm this, and that just lets you know that type of person, be it a woman or a man that answers like that, is really selfish and only thinking about what they can get from the situation instead of what they can give.
A major red flag.
Yeah, Esther, you know what, you're right about, and I think men have to look out for those type of women that want to be in exploitative relationships, because
of course,
because here's the thing: when these women are naming things, they're naming tangibles. Hey, he's got to make X amount of money. He's got to look this way, drive this car, live in this kind of house, right? And then when you ask them what they bring, I am the table, or he gets me. And it's kind of like, basically she's putting her vagina on a pedestal here. And that's what you're supposed to say. I mean, listen, when you're dealing with a female, sex is supposed to be a given. It's like, all right, cool. What else you got here?
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of the result of so many guys pursuing them their entire lives, and women struggling to tell the difference between guys that are looking for them for sexual attention, and guys that are willing to use the resources at their disposal for them long term. Because, like you said earlier, a lot of women curve the guys that are their best options for their life. You know what I mean? The guys that will be great husbands and great fathers and eventually have them riding in luxury cars and all that. They curve him because he's not wearing designer, because he wasn't wealthy at 24. You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of the things they use to view men negatively are just silly expectations that don't really match reality.
Yeah, and I guess guys can have that too, sometimes, when they watching too much porn and they think these here chicks supposed to be jumping off the walls, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing all this here old crazy stuff that they see on these here movies. I think that's more of an expectation that a lot of men have when it comes to relationships. That's kind of unrealistic because they be looking for this porn star type chick. But when it comes to like just dating, I don't think men follow that the same way that women do. You know what I'm saying? Where men kind of shoot outside of their league and only want to do that or consider themselves settling. Like men typically don't move like that. So, it's just about being realistic about who you are. Like he said in the video, who you are and what you bring. And not only that, but also understanding what the type of person you wants in somebody. You know what I mean? Like, what do that type of guy want? What do that type of girl want? That type of girl wants a guy that's making really nice money. You know what I'm saying? Not a guy that's barely making it and sleeping on his uncle's couch. Like, that's not what she wants. So you have to understand what you have and what they want, and then go out there and try to date. Otherwise, you're going to be unrealistic with what you're looking for.
Yeah, and you actually got to evaluate people on what they're actually doing with their lives. One of the reasons that we were talking about earlier, why college is such a great place for people, young couples to establish themselves, is because of the trajectory. You're both there with the goal of having some type of career, right? And so that in itself separates them from most of society. If you can get a couple where both people are educated and at least has entry level careers, that puts you on a path to having a decent lifestyle, even if you're not rich, even if you're not starting out at six figures. And so back when I was in college, one of the things that, like, that conversation about what you bring to the table, well, I always viewed it like that because I was competing with men. And so I remember, with me coming from the Army and then going to college, one of the things that separated me from the other freshmen is I was a couple years older. I paid my own bills. I had my own apartment. I had my own vehicle, and I had the income to be able to do things without needing a parent to pay for it. So in my brain, that made me a much better option than the average freshman at the college. You know what I mean? Like, so just understanding what I brought to the table, like chicks that get tired of being in a dorm, they can come over to my apartment, get a home cooked meal, and then get their back blown out. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm providing.
This nigga is a menace, man. I keep telling y'all, man. He's a menace to society. He go cook you some top ramen and then pull out the Trojans. Like, all right, it's time. Oh no, this not seasoning. This not seasoning here, sweetheart.
Hey,
like, what is going on?
That's the typical college.
Provide experiences, baby.
Top ramen, man. That's the typical college dorm meal too.
I know. I'm just saying. I never went to college, but I was at a lot of them. So, but you're right. Like,
she's used to eating top ramen in a dorm or eating in a chow hall. So all I gotta do is bake some pork chops, bake some baked potatoes, and something simple. You know what I'm saying? To where it's just a home cooked meal. So little simple things like that where I ain't never been rich. That don't cost a lot of money. Some of the cheapest dating experiences I've had with chicks have been $15-20. But what are you bringing to the table? That is the dating experience you have if you rock with me. And that's something that I'm able to sustain over longevity. And I think that's ultimately what kind of brought me and my wife together. We were both similar in that way. She had her life together and had her own money, and so did I. So we lived like established adults even while in college.
Yeah, man. You know what I seen, man, the other day, man? I seen the charts on household income, right? And this is why stuff like this, it really gets to me as a black dude. And I'm, single too, but most people not in the position that I'm in, right? Household income, the black household income was at the bottom in the United States. Everybody was above us, right? And what was interesting about the study is that they also had a breakdown of individuals, black men and black women. Black men and black women make more than Hispanic men and Hispanic women. Yet the Hispanic household makes more. They make more because they're married more. And now they come in and they pool their money together. They pay bills together, because when you see the guys out here with the lawn care services, I don't know if you all got somebody that come clean your house, but I do. Most of those are the Hispanic women that come in and clean the houses, and they out there working. When you go into a Chinese restaurant, what do you see? The women are out front taking orders, serving people this here. The men in the back cooking. And then on the regular corporate jobs, I don't know about y'all, but where I'm at, it's been more white women hired than anybody anywhere in these here corporate jobs, because their husbands is working too, and people are pooling their money together. But the least married black men and black women are so much apart.
That's by design.
And of course, and I don't want to date this dude because he don't make this much. I don't want to date her because blah blah blah. And now everybody has surpassed us, even though we make more money. And it's all a ploy for us to stay single, and really not just it's a societal thing, but we are the most influenced as black people. America knows that black people are the most influenced because we push everything culturally, whether it's music, whether it's clothes, whether it's shoes. When Jordans came out, there were black people. Like, everything flows through black people when it comes to influence. So that's why social media is so dangerous. Social media, music, it did the same thing with gangster rap in the 90s, and the movies, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood. It did the same thing. It influenced black men so bad that we went left in everything, right? And now they're influencing us with so much stuff, and it's messing our minds up. Now the women are getting hit with whore culture with all the female rappers. And now the guys are saying, I don't want to be bothered with this. You know what I mean? So we have to be careful about who we listen to, who we follow on social media, and what we pay attention to, because influencer is real. And it influences a lot of our people to stay single out here with a bunch of nonsense that don't help you at all, especially the women. And I know I'm long-winded with this, but this here is also why, if you believe something in the Bible, right? This is why panderers, they all gear things towards women, just like society do, right? Billboards, all that stuff. Movies now is more geared towards women, because women are more emotional buyers and emotional spenders. They are more emotionally reactive.
And they control the household.
Like, right. So, and they buy most things in the United States. 70-80% is bought by women.
That's why they
panderers target women to feel like they're perfect, and men to feel like they're wrong. Much like back in the day in the Garden of Eden, he didn't go to the man to influence him. He went to the woman to influence the woman to break everything apart, because the woman can then influence the man. So we have to be careful, but women have to be extra careful on who they let influence them, because the emotional aspect that comes with them a little bit more than it comes with men. I had to throw that in.
All right. We ran a little bit over the clock on that one, but we about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into tonight's topic, weighing your options, where we're talking about settling down and realistically evaluating your dating options. You are tuned in to the Hold a Husband podcast, and we'll be back in a moment. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read, or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hold a Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Weigh Your Options. We just wanted to have a conversation about actually settling down and having a realistic evaluation of your dating options. And so to start the conversation off, I wanted to ask y'all, how do y'all define settling down? Because I guess that can mean different things depending on what your ultimate goal is.
Oh man, see, for me, it's got a couple definitions. All right, so one, settling down for me is like chilling out from being in the whole phase. You know what I'm saying? Where now you a lot more careful about what women you allow in your space, what women you feed to the mattress, what women you talk to. Like you settling down some because of a lot of different things. For me, I had a chick try to set me up. So it was like, you know what? I gotta settle down a little bit, man, with what I'm doing. I'm out here too much and I'm not able to vet women properly and really pay them the attention like I need to pay them some attention. You know what I mean? Other guys, it could be other things. But I take that as settling down and just calming down with the lifestyle that you are living. Not necessarily settling down with a woman. That's another part of it, but yeah, I'm gonna just stick with that part for now. Jay, what you think?
I was actually thinking more so settling down with women, giving up, I guess, the life that you had before, especially if you were, you did the whole face, or you have a ton of other options, giving up those options to be with that one woman and, build a life with her or mix lives, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of what we all, the general term of it is. It's kind of a mixture of maturity and moving away from the whole phase, not necessarily getting in a committed relationship. But I think a lot of people, one of the things that triggers them settling down is having a kid. A lot of the times once that parenthood hits and the responsibility that comes with it, that opens a lot of people's eyes. I know you've said that multiple times, that you having a baby at 17 kind of puts you on the fast track to adulthood. But when you talk about, what does it take to actually settle down? A lot of people have that forced on them. Where the reality is it's an internal thing. The person, in order to be successful, it has to be something that the individual wants to do. And I think that guys only reach that phase, that point, once they've had at least some success with women and got to experience at least a small whole phase, even if it wasn't that successful.
Yeah, but see, in order to settle down with a woman, in my mind, and be straight with her, like and not be out here in the streets. In order to settle down with a woman, you got to settle down with yourself first. You got to settle down with yourself first, because if you don't scale back with what you're doing as a man, right, and you've been out here in the streets, you've been in your whole phase and all that, if you don't, I don't think you're not gonna stop that cold turkey just because you met a woman and now all of a sudden everything is gonna change. Yep. Most times it's not gonna happen. You gotta practice that. So you gotta settle down on your own. You gotta settle down your lifestyle. You gotta settle down your mindset. You gotta settle down how you move out here and how you treat women in order to then be settled down with a woman. So that's what I mean by settling down. That's how I take it, because I think that it's fool's gold to think that a man just gonna jump into that and be faithful with it. It's like anything else. Anything else that we want to be good at, we practice it. We practice it. I don't care what it is. Whether you went for your job, you had to have something on your resume to show that you are competent of the position, that you can do the position. So you practice it, right? Same thing, man. When you get with a woman and you want to settle down, you have to practice that ahead of time. And then that way, when you transition into it, it's a seamless transition. Ain't no bumps in the road. You ain't got to worry about no other chicks out here jumping at you, calling your phone at 2 a.m, stopping by your house, because you have settled down your life before you even settle down with a woman.
Okay, so I wanted to to the point that you're making, this was a question I had for later, but I wanted to. So, in the dating world, two single people are dating. They meet. They meet, and they kicking it. I think it's safe for most people to assume that the person is either dating or having sex with someone else, right?
Absolutely.
And so I wanted to ask y'all, so with that kind of being the dating model of today, what do y'all think is the better approach or increases your chance of having long-term success? Do you meet a woman and you talk about, hey, my goal is to get married one day, or you just keep the thing or play things, just as they go, enjoy the moment type vibe? What would be the better approach?
I think kind of what you say. I say something similar. First initially meeting one, I say, look, I'm looking to date as well. I'm not looking to be your friend or anything. Possibly more. Assuming all goes well, possibly more here. That's kind of how I approach it with that.
Because I would like to get married one day, but I don't go into dating and be saying that type stuff unless we having a conversation and she like, what do you think about marriage? And I'd be like, well, one day I would like to get married, but I don't want them to think that I'm talking about with you or leaning with you. This is just generally speaking. So
get held against you.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh, you lied. You said you want to get married. Yeah, but I never said it with you. I was just generally speaking, you know what I mean? Because that's how it happens. Like, we all been there before with stuff like that. So I try to be careful with my words, but I also try to let them know, like, you know what I mean? I would like to get married one day, but it's just a certain type of woman that I would like to be married to. So I don't like to play the little games and just, see what happens, see where it goes. Like, hey, I like to know certain things too. Like, what do you think? But I also don't like to know that you're dealing with somebody else.
Another question. So would that be a deal breaker for you? So how do you approach that?
Probably. You know what I mean? Because I want to, and I know it's kind of unrealistic because most women ain't sitting around just waiting on the dude to show up. Right? I get it. Now, if you just going out here there, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But if you smashing a dude, because women, you know how they are emotionally. If they are having sex with a guy that's like the guy that they have sex with, they got some feelings for dude. I'm not finna take you out, spend my money, wine and dine you, treat you like a queen, and then you go over here and give him give him the esophagus.
So let me add. So wouldn't that be the same thing if you're smashing another woman?
Or would it be the same thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I know you ain't celibate when you single, so ain't that?
No, it ain't the same thing. You want to know why it ain't the same thing? Because women aren't. Because women aren't the ones that's coming into the date shelling out money and shelling out things for the entertainment. Women are just going along with it. So I think it's a little different for guys, even though women, and I'm just speaking from a male perspective, women will probably tell you, well, yeah, it might. Because, and another thing that we know as far as men goes, men a lot of times will just have sex and be like, hey, I just wanted a nut. Ain't no feelings involved with it. He could just be smashing shorty just because it's a nut. Ain't no woman that's been smashing no dude for no 6 months or a year don't have feelings for him. Ain't no way unless she the hoe of hoes. Ain't no way. But a dude can do that because we're different, not because it's any double standard with it. We're just differently built as men and women. That's all. And the aspect of providing for the dates, the entertainment, and all these here things falls on the man's shoulders, not on the woman 9 times out of 10. So the woman, on the other hand, isn't giving up anything while somebody else is reaping the benefits. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the man is giving up resources and she's going over here and spreading her legs for another dude. He's reaping the benefits. He ain't got to take her nowhere. He just calling her over. Hey, how your throat feeling tonight? Is it still sore from the other night?
Yeah,
and I'm out here. I'm out here getting a sushi. Oh,
man,
no,
but
you don't ask.
A lot. the guy that like I said, man, most women you would think they have at least somebody that they getting head or pipe from.
Of course.
Even if it's somebody that she don't want to be with. But
of course,
as a guy, you could meet a woman that does have somebody else, but you're a better option and you present her with a better dating experience to where she ends up cutting that other guy off. But I don't think that's the situation that most guys want to go into.
No.
Feeling like you outdid the other guy, so she chose you. Like, to me, that's kind of a sucker's way of approaching women. I'm gonna just do the most and I'll do this for you and try to convince you that I'll just outwork all the other guys. What you saying, Jay?
I was just saying, crash dummy miss. Because at the end of the day, you can't win a woman over. A woman has to choose you at the end of the day. So I don't see the point of doing that.
I ain't doing that, man. When man, look, like I said, I know it's kind of unrealistic, right? But you entertaining a couple other dudes, I'm gonna just tell you, go ahead and get them. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I'm not gonna try to outdo nobody. I'm not. You know what I mean? No, well, he take you here, I'm gonna take you there, and now everybody taking you out. Now let's see, I'm spending my money. No way. But you know what I'm saying? A lot of times I don't really ask no questions because I know the game. This is the good thing about being in the whole phase, right? You know the game. And I've had women try to run the game where we start talking, they like, yeah, no, I don't talk to nobody, blah, 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 blah. And now this chick done disappeared. She done disappeared at 6 o'clock. I don't know. She ain't answering the phone, ain't calling me back, none of that. And then hit me up the next day at 2 in the afternoon. Oh, how you been? I know you was sucking dick last night.
Oh, man.
Like, especially once you develop, hold on, Terry, hold on. Wait. Especially when you develop a routine with a woman or a man, for the ladies. When you develop a routine with them, typically y'all talk at this time, y'all talk a couple times, y'all text in, whatever the case. When that routine is developed and now it breaks, come on, man. Ain't nobody stupid. I know I ain't. So go ahead.
So I was gonna say, so in that type of situation, the next question I was gonna ask was what are some of the signs that makes somebody that you feel that they're actually worth dating or, you know, relationship worthy. But in that type of situation where she's single, she's dating multiple guys, is that a bad thing for her to go or whatnot? Because if you had a lady friend coming to town, wouldn't that apply to you too?
No.
Y'all had a routine. Yeah, you normally talk to her at 8 o'clock. But chick came in for Friday, and now Friday and Saturday you was unavailable. That shouldn't make you undateable.
Well, that's up to the women. That's up to the women.
She should know what was going down.
That's up to the women. Yeah, women can do whatever they want to do. I'm not saying they can't. They could, you know, take that and be like, no, I ain't gonna deal with him because he got too many women or whatever the case, which I don't. But they could. But for me, like I said, I'm the one funding the relationship. Right? Aren't we funding the relationships as men? I'm not finna fund the relationship so another dude can benefit from the throat. No, absolutely not. So if you are dating, like I'll ask you dating anything, and a woman say, you know, I've been on a couple dates, but nothing serious, anything like that. And I've had women tell me, yeah, you know, I got a couple guys I'm kicking it with, or checking out my options, or somebody that I mess with here or there. All right, well, it was nice talking to you. Now, if I just want to, hold on, wait a minute. Wait, but listen, if I'm just trying to hit, I don't care who you're dealing with.
But I'm just saying, so what? Even if you did like her, if you meet a bad chick, somebody in that city is getting in her panties. So that's not a bad thing. Like,
I'm not saying that it's not. I don't want to know.
Oh,
if I know,
okay.
If I know, it's different.
That's fair. So. I guess that you'd rather be lied to. I would think, because the reason
don't
I
lie.
That, but you kind of forcing it. If The same reason guys lie about things is because of the consequences. So woman meets you, she sees you as a quality guy or whatnot, but she feels that if she told you that she was kicking it with another dude, that would get her cut off. Then I could see her lying and saying she went to somewhere with her homegirls and have you looking at her like, man, I'm not stupid. So I can see that kind of white lie scenario.
I can see it too, and I get it. But you post with your girls all the time, y'all. Now all of a sudden you ain't post and you ain't answering my phone call too. Come on now. I'm not stupid, is what I'm saying. But I give women the benefit of the doubt. I don't go in. I don't assume this. I just think everybody, all these women talk to somebody or sleeping with somebody. But I'm oblivious to it. I like you. I don't really want to know a whole lot. But if I find out or you give me the information, that's different. Like, because if I like her, if I just want to sleep with her, I don't care who you go out with. I don't care what you doing. Go ahead. That's back in the day when I was really in my whole phase. Like, I don't care who she messing with. Now I'm too much of a health nut for that. Right. If you sleeping with somebody, go ahead and sleep with them, sweetheart. Do your thing. I don't want that coochie over here. I want coochie that's just for me. Because I don't know what that fool doing. You see all this stuff these folks passing around out here. All these STDs.
Yeah, numbers is crazy over here.
Yeah, so yes, it that type of thing for me, I'm straight on that. And on my end, I'm being clean on my end. I don't entertain a whole lot of women and all that stuff like I used to. I don't sleep with a whole bunch of women like I used to. Like, I don't do that. And if I find a chick and I feel like, man, she's nice. This is a nice chick. Man, I ain't thinking about them other chicks. I'm gonna be like, man, listen, this might be the one, Terry. This might be the one, man. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
But yeah, you know what I mean? I ain't entertaining nobody. So that's just how I move with it now.
What about you, Jay? What are some signs that make a chick date relationship worthy to you?
Certain qualities, like, number one, is she unselfish? Is she pleasant to be around, pleasant to deal with? Does she make my experience pleasurable, right? Does she make my life easier? Those are signs, okay, this is somebody I can see myself, pursuing something longer term with.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, I always felt like seeing somebody in different environments, you get a vibe of what their energy is. And so, I'm always a helpful type of person. So if I'm brought in a scenario or a get together, and I see I'm going to throw something away and the trash is full, hey, where your trash bags at? You know what I'm saying? I'm naturally going to want to take the trash out and put it in the garage or wherever you put your trash at. So things like that are the kind of things that I actually look for in women too. I'm like, are they helpful? How are they with children or family members or other people? Are they accommodating? You know what I'm saying? Like, or is everything about her and what she want to do and how she feel? So those are some of the things that, would either get a chick eliminated, you know what I'm saying? Like, or make me want to have her around or in my presence more often. And that's ultimately what leads to relationships to me.
I'm with y'all, man, because that, you know what? I'm gonna just put this in a simpler term. Put both of y'all stuff together. That's just a woman that know her place.
Facts.
Yeah, I like a woman that know her place within a relationship. And I know women don't like, what you mean know her place? Know your place. Know that you not here to be the leader, sweetheart. You are here to know your place, be a helpmate, be a nurturer, be a supporter, be submissive to your man. You know what I'm saying? Be his backbone. Be his porn star, for lack of better words. But be that for him to help y'all. You know what I mean? Because a man gotta have a man got a place too, and they want that man to play his place to perfection. They'll tell you what his place is. He's a provider, protector, leader, structurer, the disciplinarian for kids. They want this man with experience to make logical decisions. That's a place for a man. So if that's how women feel, which most of them do, they have a place too. And most men, like you all described, like women who know their place and not trying to take the man's place, or not even trying to pretend to be like she's the man and wants to be the leader and the dominant one and all this stuff. Men don't like that.
Conflict.
That's what's creating conflict for so many women now, because they've lost their place trying to compete with men in places where they can't compete, instead of just being women and knowing their place and falling in line. That's why so many of them are struggling to get the types of men that they actually want. So that's in simpler terms. A woman that knows her place will get further with me than anything else, than a boss chick. Kick them boss chicks out of here. They can't go nowhere with me.
Yeah. It's funny that we have these kind of conversations, because I don't remember that being a thing, back in the day.
What's that?
But you're right, man. The boss chick attitude, or women that refuse to do things. But I guess we were on the beginning of it, but where the single mothers and things of that nature. But it definitely wasn't, the phenomenon that it is today, where it feels like a lot of women view men negatively just off the rip. And I don't think that, and it seems like their evaluation of men is more focused on what they can find to disqualify a man from being dateable, where men, I think, approach women looking for things that they like about them and kind of overlook the things that they dislike, as long as it's not certain to pass a certain threshold. It looks like we are up against the clock. We about to get up out of here, man. Before we go, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background music. I want to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all linking up so we can get this episode knocked out. This has been another episode of the Ho the Husband Podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.